Hello world, this is Travis Grant coming back at you with another short video. Today I'm talking about sugar, that delectable, deceitful mistress or mister that you probably have. Let's be honest, everybody has probably eaten a little more sugar than they like to admit. That does include me, by the way, at least at points in my life. But here's what happens to your body, or actually let me reverse that. Here's what, I was gonna say what happens to your body when you eat sugar, which I guess you could do that too, but here's what happens when you stop eating sugar. And by stop eating sugar, I mean mostly like added sugars that you get from pop or cookies or candy and cakes and things like that. First of all, there's so many different kinds of sugar, right? There's sucrose, fructose, glucose, lactose, maltose, raw sugar, honey, all different kinds, and they're all basically a different kind of carbohydrate, which I think we're all familiar with those as one of the macronutrient levels. When you ingest sugar at high levels, it starts to increase your insulin levels. So if you stop taking so much sugar in, your insulin levels start to decrease. Why is that important? Because insulin is what we refer to as an anabolic hormone, which means it favors, think of it as it favors holding on to stuff, building things up, holding on to them. So if you have too much insulin circulating through your blood, then your body stores more fat. And it makes it really hard when you're trying to exercise and do different things to burn fat. If you have too much insulin floating through your body, then the insulin actually protects the fat that you're trying to get to, if that makes sense. So you want to decrease that. So if you stop taking in so much sugar, your insulin levels go down, your lipids change as well, particularly your triglycerides, they start to go down. That's helpful in preventing heart disease, artery disease, hardening of the arteries, all sorts of bad things when you think about circulation of blood. And then also what happens if you're able to stop eating sugar is your taste palate will change, which means you will not crave sugar as much. That's important because sugar activates the dopamine sensors in your brain. And for most things, there are other things that activate your dopamine sensors as well, but they level off after a while. So if you, for instance, if you eat a food that you like, you feel really satisfied and really happy about it, that's the spike in dopamine. However, if you ate that same meal 4 nights in a row, the dopamine levels would start to level off and then they would drop. That does not happen with sugar. The spike in your dopamine levels remains the same, which makes sugar more of a drug than other things that you might try to avoid because of the addictive nature of keeping your dopamine levels so high throughout the entire time you're eating sugar. How much sugar should you have? Well, kind of depends on what you're trying to accomplish, but I can tell you that an FDA never approved amount was about 19 grams for females and about 33 grams for males. These are adults over the course of a day. The reason this was never made official by the FDA, at least rumor has it, depending on how much you want to read and you buy into conspiracy theory, but essentially it was a money play. If we reduce the amount of grams that the population was eating, that would stand to cost a lot of people money. And so the government never actually came out and said that, so that we'd still eat so much sugar. But read your labels. That's the best thing you can do. Try and keep your sugar total at single-digit grams or less, 0 when you can, and that'll help you get on your way. If you need help creating your own meal plan, your own training plan, or your own habit building plan by way of working with you on your environment. Remember, habits are, they're like autobahns, right? Your brain is going to seek the path of least resistance. Therefore, habits, because they are function, you can execute them with little to no thought. That's the way your brain's gonna always go. So combining habits with everything is what's gonna get you the best results. If you would like help on devising your own plan, DM the word habit in the messages below and we can get started on that. Hope you have a wonderful day and hope you learned something. Take care.